My name is Matthew Gilbert. I'm a student at Rock Canyon.
I'm Logan.
I'm Sean Kelly.
Hi, I'm Jackson Mooney.
I'm Dan Cooper. I am a youth leader at Jubilee Fellowship Church.
So before I went to JFC, I lived in Virginia. I was focused on trying to make my friend group as large as possible and trying to just get my value out of other people and let those people determine who I was and what I was worth. And of course that just didn't work. I ended up finding myself surrounded by terrible groups of friends. I was betrayed by a lot of friends, and it was just not a good time in my life, and it was a very dark time in my life.
I was very lonely. I greatly suffered from anxiety and depression, which didn't help anything. And so I was kind of in a spot where I believed in God, but didn't really believe that He was helpful.
My story kind of begins more towards my college years. I was playing college hockey and just really partying, and eventually got a DUI, which caused me to fall into depression, suicidal thoughts, and I was just really at the bottom of my life. And there was one day I was riding my bike because I lost my license, and it was pouring rain, wind was blowing, I was going down a hill and just felt like I wasn't going anywhere, was fed up, eventually threw my bike on the ground, looked up to the sky and just yelled out to God, "What do you want from me?" And I heard an audible voice, "Come home, son." And from that point on, I decided to rededicate my life to Christ and kind of figure out what all that meant.
They didn't shove religion down my throat or try to force me into something. They just showed me the relationship that God wants to have with me. And from there, it was just, I wanted to do more. It wasn't even that at that point, after they showed me the way, I just wanted to follow that and wanted to keep going after that.
There was a $500, a $1,000, and a free mission trip raffle. And so we're sitting in the audience waiting for the raffle to start, and they call our name for the $1,000, and we're just like, what? I was like, okay, God, I guess you want us to go.
John approached me, and he eventually invited me to the high school youth program. So I went there thinking, what the heck, I have nothing else to do. And that first night, I had been praying for friends, and that first night, everyone was just so inviting and so welcoming, and I left really feeling like I was a part of something.
I've matured a lot over the last couple of years that I've been coming. I've not as fearful in a lot of things, and I feel like I'm hearing God's voice more often and more clearly than before. I'm excited to see what God's going to use me for.
It was there that I found a solid group of friends, a supporting family. They were able to help me overcome these identity issues of putting my identity in other people. They were helping me focus my identity from other people into God, who shows me that I'm not flawed. I mean, I am flawed, but He makes me perfect, and that with Him, that He loves me no matter what I do. Recently at the school, I just did an event called Love Disruption, and we came into the school and brought coffee and cookies, and I came up with the idea and brought it to our youth pastor, John, and he loved it, and he just encouraged me to go for it and helped support me through it. And after we brought all these people to the church, we had a huge event, and it was a lot of fun, and a lot of people came to know Christ for the first time.
When I was in Africa, there was a time where I was kind of by myself, and God told me to go talk to this one house. So I went in the house, and there was 2 women there, and we just made small talk at first, and they were telling me that they've repeatedly have gotten raped, and they're women, so they're extremely vulnerable in that community. I asked them if they've ever heard of Jesus, and I kind of retold the story, and after I finished, they were just amazed.
A lot of times we look at the Bible and we see how Jesus acted, and all He did was really just show love to people, and that was our goal. We didn't want to shove religion onto people. We didn't want to make some big deal out of it. We just wanted to show love to people.
So I prayed for both of them, and they were just ecstatic about that whole idea of love in Jesus, and that a God could love them and, you know, treat them like actual people, and, you know, love them for who they are. It was just the most incredible experience you could ever ask for. Stay true to yourself and keep believing in yourself no matter what.
I would say don't let fear stop you from doing what you're meant to do and doing what you want to do.
You know, life is short, but eternity is forever, and just realize that this time on earth, it's not about yourself. It's not about making the most money or having the most fun or the coolest toys, but it's about relationships with each other, and most importantly, a relationship with God and Jesus.
I think there's a lot of diamonds within the rough, and I think that, you know, if we show who we are and our ambitions and our aspirations for life, I think that we could become world changers instead of